Hello everybody, this is John Hopkins with Baltimore Heritage, and we're back with another of our 5-minute Histories videos. And if you're following along real time, today is the first day of summer. And if it's the first day of summer and you're in Baltimore and you're doing a Baltimore history video, you have to do it on Baltimore snowballs. Not Italian shaved ice, not Hawaiian shaved ice, certainly not snow cones, but historic Baltimore snowballs. That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm out here on Walther Boulevard and Southern Avenue at what may be the oldest snowball stand in the country. We'll get to that. Have to start with a quick thanks to everybody who's donated and considering donating. Baltimore Heritage, we're a very small nonprofit, and you've kept us going through this first day of summer. Thank you. All right, let's start by making sure we're on the same page. What is a Baltimore snowball? It is shaved ice served in a styrofoam cup with a plastic spoon that has a flavoring, a syrup on top. Often it has marshmallow fluff on top of that. Just so we're clear, what is an Italian ice? It is a pureed fruit ice that you sort of scrape up with a wooden spoon, not a snowball. What's Hawaiian shaved ice? Well, that's that pile of fluffy shaved ice served in a bowl. Again, not a Baltimore snowball. And what is a snow cone? Well, who knows what a snow cone is, because it melts all over your shirt through that flimsy little piece of triangle paper before you even get to eat it. I never said this was going to be an unbiased report. Probably the closest thing to a Baltimore snowball is a New Orleans snowball, also shaved ice served in a styrofoam cup with syrup on top. If you are a connoisseur, you will note that the New Orleans shaved ice is made with more finely shaved ice. And while that sounds good, if you've ever tried to eat a snowball in New Orleans in August, you will know that it melts before you get through, and you end up drinking the last half of your snowball. Again, I never said this would be unbiased. So now we know what a snowball is. Where did it come from? Well, it traces its roots way back to ancient Rome and ancient Japan, where the wealthy would send their servants up into the mountains to bring back snow that they would top with honey in the hot months. For sure, the Hawaiian shaved ice traces its roots back to that Japanese snowball tradition. Here in Baltimore, our snowball started about 150 years ago. Before we were manufacturing ice, we were cutting blocks of ice from cold places like Maine and New Hampshire and sending it to hot places like Florida and New Orleans. And all of those trains were coming through Baltimore. Many of them stopped in Baltimore, and when they did, Baltimore kids would run out and beg for little shavings off the ice blocks. It got to be a tradition that the railroad men would give them little cups full of shavings, and then they would run as fast as they could home to their moms, who had prepared a concoction that you can make pretty simply at home of eggs and vanilla and sugar, or egg custard. And that is still one of the most popular snowball flavors today. During the Great Depression, snowballs were called various things, including penny sundaes, because they were cheaper than their ice cream alternatives, and hard time sundaes, because maybe that's all you could afford. After the Great Depression, snowballs kept going. Lots of kids had snowball stands, side hustles from corner grocery stores and drugstores selling snowballs to make an extra buck. Now it seems that most snowball stands are places like the one behind me, the Walther Gardens, that are small little wooden shacks on the side of the road. They have a dizzying array today of flavors, not just egg custard. And if you get a snowball in Philadelphia or New Jersey, and certainly in Baltimore, almost for sure, it will come from a company called Cold Kiss. That's where the flavoring will come from. Cold Kiss, spelled cold with a K. And it, of course, is in Baltimore. It offers something like 80 different flavors, syrup flavors for snowballs. So you could have a different snowball every day, all through the summer without having to repeat too much at all. All right, a few quick things in wrapping up. What is the oldest snowball stand in the country? If you look online, there's a place called Hanson's in New Orleans. It's got a great website. It looks good. It says it's founded in 1934, and many people say that it's the oldest in the country. The problem is that the Walther Gardens behind me was started in 1933, a year earlier. I stopped my research there, and I am going to settle on the fact that we have the oldest snowball stand in the country. All right, number two, if you are traveling and are in need of a Baltimore snowball, there are Baltimore expats who have started snowball stands all over the country. If you're in Florida, check out the Baltimore Snowball Factory. That's what it's called. And if you're out in California, in Oakland, check out Skylight Snowballs, founded by a Baltimorean. All right, finally, I'm going to try to tackle what flavors are the most popular. I will be on even thinner ice than I was declaring us as the oldest snowball stand in the country. But here goes. For sure, if you ask the snowball purveyors, egg custard is still right up there, as is cherry, which my kids call just red. And then the final one in this trifecta is usually skylight, which is kind of a raspberry-based flavor, but blue. My kids order it just as blue. So I'm going to say thank you so much for joining us. I have already gotten a skylight snowball. Apologize if my lips are blue. And I am going to go back for an egg custard one. If it is the first day of summer and you're at the nation's oldest snowball stand, you are allowed to get two. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.